Hello everyone and welcome to my nerdy little corner of the internet. Fabled is right around the corner, and so it is time for my ultimate draft guide. In this guide we will look into the data within the set, some archetypes you will see, and some traps to avoid. Fabled is our first reprint set, with the majority of cards coming from previous sets. While super rares and legendaries can be exciting to open in our packs, we must keep an eye out for potential traps within the set while drafting. There is no shame in picking a card for its value, rarity, or simple love for the card. These are simply cards that may not be as beneficial to your pool as one might initially think. Shenzi, Hyena Pack Leader. While she does have high willpower, it requires putting her at a location to be a sufficient character. Maleficent, Monstrous Dragon. 9 ink is a ton of ink for a character who, while yes has a great ability and a solid body, will end up in the ink many more times than not. Mickey Mouse Trumpeter. A 4-cost 0/1 is really bad. The ability isn't useful and limited, as you're unlikely to be playing enough characters to make this ability worth the bad body. The removal in this set is pretty rough. There are a few cards with support, a couple exert effects, but the direct removal is very specific and not likely to be good enough to add to your deck, so make sure you have good bodies for challenges. In Arcasia's Island, the strength, willpower, and lore per ink, or SPI, WPI, and LPI respectively, was 0.78, 1.04, and 0.46, while in Range of Far, it was 0.72, 1.13, and 0.46. These have been larger characters than usual, so as we look back at Fabled, we're going to see that all of these characters are going to be a bit smaller. In Fabled, the SPI, WPI, and LPI is 0.7, 1.01, and 0.41. This means we can expect much smaller characters in this set compared to previous ones. I usually divide characters in a set by tiers of play. These metrics help us figure out how each character's body scales with the rest of the set. Our Tier 2, or 50th percentile characters, start off as a 2-3-1, such as Elsa, Snow Queen, while our Tier 3 characters start off as a 3-5-2, such as Mulan, Considerate Diplomat. The cost curve for our commons and uncommons is pretty well set up, the largest portion of cards being costs 2 and 3, a decent number of 1 and 4 costs, and then a couple 5 and 6 drops for the curve out. There are 2 other very expensive cards. They are uninkable, but they do have Sing Together, so that they are actually playable. The number of bodyguards within Fabled is a bit less than usual, as we can expect less than 10 bodyguards to be at a drafting table. The amount of evasives is actually relatively high, so make sure to get those evasive interaction cards. In our final segment, I will give my top 5 commons, uncommons, and rares for this set. My top 5 commons are as follows. Be Our Guest. Being able to dig deep into your deck for your bombs, or looking for a useful character, is fantastic. At it being inkable and singable leads to great value. Fire the Cannons. Banishes things, deals damage, 1 ink, good card. Hercules, True Hero. It's one of the very few bodyguards in the set, and bodyguard is typically very powerful and limited. Dolores Madrigal, Easy Listener. A 2 lore character with a decent body for cost that is more likely than not going to draw you a card is amazing and limited, especially at a common. Coconut Basket. Damage is going to be chilling on your characters. Coconut Basket removes these damage counters so that you are able to more effective challenge in the future. Here are my fave uncommon. Nani, Protective Sister. 6 willpower and the 2 lore bodyguard. Julieta Madrigal, excellent cook. Being able to swing on a challenge, heal your own characters, and then draw a card is really good. Also, you can heal one of your opposing characters for 1 and still get the card draw. Queen of Hearts, Sensing Weakness. Probably one of the best limited cards, gaining card advantage while controlling the board. Medallion Weights. Basically a less powerful version of the Queen of Hearts, but is cheap and can be useful as an ink sink. Smash. Basically Fire the Cannon's older brother, if actions were brothers. And yeah, this takes out some characters. Finally, here are my favorite rares in Fabled. Pluto, Determined Defender. Again, we like our bodyguards, we like them big, and this one he heals himself and has a shift target in the set. Cusco, Temperamental Emperor. A 3 lore character that always trades with the characters that take it out. Shere Khan, Menacing Predator. Similar to the Queen of Hearts, but instead of drawing cards, you're gaining lore, being able to interact with the board with challenges while not stopping your lore gain is incredibly powerful. Anna, True-Hearted. Being able to give a lot of your characters an extra lore is really good. Finally, Strength of Raging Fire. The eldest brother of the steel damaging actions, this one is singable, and it scales with the size of your board. That is all I have for you today. If you enjoyed my limited guide, please make sure to like and subscribe, and let me know how you do in your drafts. Goodbye.